So today I'm back with another fragrance review. This time we're going to be taking a look at a discontinued fragrance from Gucci. This one's been getting a lot of talk, and it usually does around this time of the year once we start to get into the cooler months. This one is Gucci Pour Homme 1. So this is the discontinued Gucci Pour Homme, the first one. I just want to give a shout out to my friend Derek for actually sending me this sample for free. I unfortunately don't own a bottle of it. Wish I did, but they are very expensive, very hard to come by. So again, shout out to you for sending me this. He actually sent me this a while ago, and I'm just now getting around to reviewing it. But nonetheless, here I am going to give you my thoughts on Gucci Pour Homme 1. So right when I first spray this in the opening, what you get right away is a spicy, woody, incense combination. It really took me off guard when I first smelled it. It really kind of hit me in the face. It is, very strong in that regard, that it is very spicy. It's got a smoky, woody, and spicy type of smell. It's also kind of a dry wood smell too. It's kind of hard to describe, but it just has a very dry, woody smell with some spices and with some smoke. Very interesting. It smells very good. You'll hear a lot of people say that this smells kind of like pencil shavings, like has a pencil shaving type of smell, or something along those lines from that dry woodiness, and I do have to somewhat agree. I can see where they're coming from. To me, this doesn't smell like straight up pencil shavings or anything, but it does have that type of scent going on where I can kind of see where they're coming from with that comparison. In the dry down, some leather starts to come into play as well. There's amber, which I don't pick up on quite as much. Again, the main things I get is that smoky incense, that spiciness. There's like cedar wood, which again is like a very dry woods, and then some leather in the background. So if you look at the notes, there are actually a ton of notes in this, but again, like I said, those are the main ones that I pick up on. A lot of the ones that are listed are probably kind of just giving it a lot more depth and supporting these main notes, but definitely what you get for the most part is a dry, smoky, woody, and spicy scent. So I've seen online where this one gets compared to Bentley for Men Absolute. I haven't tried that, but I would like to grab a bottle in the future, and then maybe I'll do a comparison video between this one and that Bentley for Men Absolute, just to kind of see if they are similar and if it would be a good alternative, because like I said, unfortunately this is discontinued. Hard to find bottles, and if you do find bottles, most of the time they are going to be up there in price. So that is definitely a shame. Overall though, it is still a great scent. I'm not sure why they discontinue all of their good scents like that. I'm pretty sure they've discontinued Gucci Pour Homme 2, but it's still kind of floating around. So I will be picking up a bottle of that just so I'll have it. But it is a shame that they are discontinuing their good fragrances, because this one is definitely really, really solid stuff. So when is this fragrance suited for? Definitely suited for the fall and winter months. Like I said, right around this time, it's been getting a decent amount of talk in the community. Some people are including it in their winter fragrances list, those who are lucky enough to own a bottle. So definitely a fall and winter scent. It's one that is strong enough that it cuts through the cooler air really well, and it overall just works really well in cooler weather and things like that. Definitely not really much of a spring and summer scent. It has too much depth, and it's just a little bit too much to be worn in the heat like that. But you can wear it whenever you want, of course, but definitely more suited for fall and winter. And if you look at the bottle, it's kind of like a reddish color. Even the fragrance itself has a dark color. So as far as occasions go on this one, I would say more or less for about any occasion. I would say this is more dressed up smelling than it would be casual smelling. So I would maybe wear this more out to dinners and things like that. I probably wouldn't reach it for it as much if it's just strictly casual wear, but of course you can do that. But again, there's something about that smoky, masculine, woody, spicy scent that just gives it more of an upscale, more of a dressed up type of smell, versus just like lounging around just throughout the day. But again, it is for the most part pretty versatile. You could probably pull this off for just about anything in the fall and winter. So let's talk about performance on this one. It actually performs really good on my skin. I get about 8 or so hours of longevity, which is, again, that's pretty good. Projection, it pushes out decently. I would say it's about moderate. Definitely not a beast, but also not, a skin scent. So right there in that moderate range for projection. Again, longevity in that 8-hour range, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, depending on how much you spray on. And again, I'm, reporting from a sample here, which is going to differ from spraying it from the actual bottle. So spray out more and just, things like that. But from what I've got from testing it from this, performance is definitely fine. There's really nothing to complain about there, in my opinion. Of course, some people are going to want it to last, 14 hours and project across the room, but that's not always really realistic. I think this gets the job done great. So let's get to everyone's favorite part, the compliments. Would this be a good compliment getter? The answer is it might be. I mean, just like with about everything, you can get compliments from just about everything as long as, you're wearing it with confidence, you're wearing it in the correct situation. And this one here, I think, is the same thing. If you're wearing this, in the winter and you're dressed up in a nice, nice coat, a nice jacket, and you're, walking, out through the streets or something like that, I think this will get you compliments. But again, I wouldn't expect it to be some, super hardcore maximum compliment getter. I just don't think it would do that. It's not a 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟, it's not a Dolce & Gabbana The One. It's not one of those super mass pleasing scents where everyone is going to like it. This is probably going to, deter some people, again, because it does have that very dry, woody, spicy quality about it that some people are going to think, oh, that's a little bit too much for me. And then other people are going to really like it. So I guess I would say it's one of those ones that some people are really, really going to like it a lot. Other people are probably going to shy away from it a little bit. But again, I don't mind wearing fragrances like that. I actually like it because those reactions that you do get from people who really like it are really good. So that's always a plus. So yeah, like I said, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's not going to be, everyone's favorite because it is something that's a little bit more daring. It's something that you may have to warm up to, but overall, I would say that you would get pretty positive attention from it. And with that being said, if you do manage to somehow find a bottle for a good price or you get a sample of it, this is one that it may need to grow on you for a while. You may not like it right away. Again, it's not something that you've probably are used to smelling a whole bunch. It's something that's a little bit more unique when we're talking about designers, especially new designer releases as of lately. It's something that you may have to warm up to, you may have to come around to. Personally, for me, I really like these, spicy, smoky, dry, woody scents. And I guess one that I could kind of compare this to is Creed Spice and Wood. That's a very dry, spicy, woody scent. It doesn't have the smokiness that this one has, but I would say that I would put them in a similar category where they do kind of get the same thing done a little bit. Spice and Wood, I would say, is even more formal and even more classy smelling than this one. But I would put them in the same category. So if you do like scents that are like that, you like woody scents, you like spicy scents, smoky scents, and more specifically a very kind of dry, woody type of smell, then this one would be great. But again, the fact that it is discontinued, it's not like you can go to FragranceNet and just scoop this up or anything like that. This is one that you would have to be on the lookout for on eBay, on Facebook, looking for good deals, making sure you're not buying a fake and things like that. But if you do find a good deal on it, then, this review will help you decide if you want to buy it or not, because I do really enjoy it. And yeah, I just think it's good stuff. So this is normally where I would do the price section, talking about the price of the fragrance. But since this is discontinued and prices can be anywhere, I'm really not going to focus too much on that. Again, it is discontinued on eBay. You're probably going to be looking to pay, over $100 for, even a 50 ml bottle, probably over $100. Again, there are probably fakes out there, I would imagine. I think I've seen them before. So yeah, price, it's going to be expensive. But at one point, I'm sure it was around the price of what Gucci Pour Homme 2 is now, which is like $50 or so for 100 ml, which is a good price. I don't think it's going to be possible that you will find this at that price unless it's from someone who doesn't really know fragrances and they, found it in their basement and they're selling it off. So that's probably not going to happen. Now, if I had to think how much would I pay for a bottle of this, I would maybe pay pay around $80 or $90 for a 100 ml bottle just to have it in my collection, and maybe decant some off and keep the rest. That's probably about it, and that might even be pushing it for a designer that's expensive. I do like this, but I don't like it enough to be paying the super ridiculous prices that are on eBay. That's just ridiculous. But if I could find it for a relatively good price, then maybe I would do it, but really the chances of that are pretty slim. So with that being said, should you blind buy this one? No, you shouldn't. Again, unless you're able to find it for $50, $60, then go for it, because if you don't like it, you could just resell it for twice that somewhere. But do I think you should blind buy it for like $200 on eBay? Definitely not. I just wouldn't. That's just too much of a risk. But overall, I do think it is a great scent. It is a shame they discontinued it. If I owned a bottle, it would definitely be in my winter rotation. It would have made it in my top 10 list as well. But again, unfortunately, I don't own any. So I think that does it for my review. That was my thoughts on Gucci Pour Homme 1. Big thank you to Derek for sending me this sample to check out. Again, he sent it to me a while ago and I'm just now getting around to it. So I apologize for, that. But again, that's my review on Gucci Pour Homme 1. If you've tried this fragrance, let me know what you think of it down below. Also, tell me what are your favorite Gucci fragrances. I really don't own any of them now that I think about it. I do want to pick some up. So let me know what your favorites are down below. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.